So the sacred fire, when you do it, why this is important is, believe it or not, my family's been here for 7 generations, and the only way, I'm sorry to say it's men, but the men, like, they don't put down their emotions ever. They just cannonball through life, and it kills them in the end. Like, they never let out a thing. And basically, I think it could be not so hard if you learned it at an early age. And I'm inviting you to show really all the children you can, and also you, that during these times, and especially when time is hardest, to come together and do a sacred fire. It doesn't have to be $10,000. It can be like 75 cents. So I'm going to show you. As long as your heart's in a good place, you can do it. But here is a generic way to do it. You have some way to make the place sacred. You can use water if you want. You can use just a prayer. This is a smudge stick here with the community. And smudge the area, smudge yourself and the people. What this means is that you are here to help the world. It doesn't mean you're here because you want to feel better. It's to understand that this mysterious thing that when we help other people, somehow it lifts us up and we didn't even know how that happened. So that's when you're going into a sacred space, you're telling everybody, I'm here because I care about you, and any trouble that's trying to get to you has got to come through me first. Like, I got your back. So at least with two, wherever two or more are gathered, you can do it. But 2 people or more that come with a good heart. You would have a fire dish of some kind. This is not a fire dish, but imagine it's made of fireproof metal or something. And then get some kind of paper, doesn't matter what kind. And you're going to do this. So the sacred ways are that you bring your mind to your heart and do something physical for the good of everybody. Your mind to your heart, do something physical for the good of everybody. So the first thing you bring your mind to is gratitude. And you don't need to say anything. And so what I'm thinking about is something I'm grateful for from today. I'll say it out loud. I'm grateful to be here with Jen. And I forgot your name. Rob? For Jen and Rob, just filming, it's been great. So I'm not saying it, but I'm grateful. Doesn't matter what it is. You just are going to unhook the flow. And then you offer it to where you're. So I'm going to be putting this on my lap, but if we were outside, I'd be putting it in the fireplace. The next one you do is for your grief. Anything that has your heart on the ground, any sadness that you're feeling, and you don't have to talk or anything, but just find something that you're sad about. And you cannot get it wrong. Just think, I'm sad about, So I'm thinking of something I'm sad about. And I'm giving it away. How this helps is in the old ways, what we feel doesn't belong to us. It's not our property. So it might be me sad about something, but there's some way that my sadness is also someone else's sadness that I don't even know. And as long as I keep it inside of me, the other people can't feel better either. But when I put it down, then they feel better too. Next one is your fear. And you don't need to go in this exact order, but cover a lot of emotional bases. So fear and anxiety, especially when your head goes off spinning like this, you bring your head to your heart, and what are you afraid of, and what are you worried about? If you're up all night worrying about stuff, so think about something, bring your mind to what you're worried about. And remember, like, other people are worried about the same thing as you, so put down what you might be carrying to them. The next one is your desire, which also can feel like frustration. Or in the extreme, it can be rage, like you're not getting what you want. And so I'm thinking about something where I'm frustrated or a desire that it's not happening for me. So I'm letting it go. The next one is anger. For anger turned inward is your depression, stuff that you're mad about. A lot of times they'll call it resentment. Your resentments, stuff that happened 10 years ago and you're still mad about it. Like, put that down. So, thinking about where I'm angry. Next one is of the mind. So, mental fogginess or lack of clarity, or you don't know what you're doing, or you just can't, your head hurts. You can't get out of your head. So bring your head to your heart. And any mental suffering of the mind, don't carry it. Put it down. This one is suffering of your body. So anywhere you feel pain, and just use the word pain. Pay attention to where you hurt. Where are you hurting? What hurts? And then the last one is the most important. In all of the old ways, we are part of the heart of Creator. And what we feel is, Rilke has a poem that ends, inside human beings is where God learns. And so what that means is that there's things that God doesn't know. God only learns, the Creator, the source, or whatever you want to call learns through us. And where it learns the most is where we're carrying something all by ourselves. And how that feels is despair or weariness of life, or you don't want to be alive anymore. The suicidal tendency, or any place where it's just hopeless. That's most valuable, because until we put it down, the spirit doesn't know what we have. Like, it's got no idea what we're dealing with. So I'm thinking about where my despair is, where my hopelessness is, where I think this is never going to get better. Like, where that kind of language, and I'm just finding a place. And the same thing with your despair, even though it's really in close, you're touching other people's stuff, and so you put it down. So now you have you've given everything, and then you'll build your fire around this, and at a certain point, light your fire. And when you do a fire like this, the fire becomes a person. You're doing something in an old way. And so the old way, the person whose fire was called Tonkashila by the Lakota, which one of the meanings of it is its grandfather, but it also means from the beginning of time, I am with you now. And so when you pour everything out and you sit with your friends, and they all do that too, and then you light the fire, and what's happened is all that trouble that you just gave away turns into light and warmth, and now you're sitting with, from the beginning of time, I am with you now. And then just sit by that fire and let it warm you up. Talk about everything or nothing. It's really important, like, don't be drinking beers and throwing them in the fire or roasting hot dogs, and like, this would be a fire that's only for praying or talking about things that are close to your heart. So after this is done, I just put all these I really put all these emotions here, and so I'm going to be letting them go and burning them, and not like carry them home in my car and put them in the closet. So thank you very much. Looking forward to the fires that we'll have